Are we recording?
I don't know. Yes, we are. For like 3 seconds.
You're so silly. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Trinity Fellowship, Church Without Walls.
Friends, followers of the way, we are here to continue with the Omnis. Now,
Yeah, let's try that again.
well, you know,
There we go.
we definitely are not what?
Tech savvy. The Omnis! Where we talk about the characteristics of God.
The attributes, those amazing
we worship
things.
and praise Him as we glorify Him as God of gods.
Glorifying Him and Him alone.
This is not for our glory. We're not having fun at God's expense. We are celebrating the mighty, almighty El Shaddai, God of glory. And
doesn't this music just like really like, ha!
Yeah, it does. It kind of, wow. Okay, all right. There we go.
Are you certain?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that was horrible.
No, it was not horrible because we have decided that we need to be real, and that means warts and all.
Warts and all. Warts and all. Yeah. See what Nikki has to say about warts.
What's that got to do with anything? It's not like you're putting yourself in a doghouse for it.
No. Oh, no.
All right. So we are back at
I'm going to take this opportunity to just say thank you to a friend of the family who helped me decorate the doghouse, and we will have the doghouse decorated soon.
Next week.
And if anyone wants to know what the doghouse is,
I guess
we'll put it up here.
Join us then. So
you can just watch that video and watch me dig a ditch.
You didn't dig a ditch. It was a hole.
It was a hole.
It wasn't a big hole. It was a hole.
So we're at the Omnis.
What are the Omnis? What is Omni?
Omni, again, is Latin for all. Some of God's attributes have Omni in front of it. Some of them don't.
What do you mean they have Omni in front? Oh, like the actual physical word.
Yeah, the actual Omni presence. We've already talked about, and omniperfect and omniscience. We've already talked about those, and tonight we're going to be talking about another Omni. Omnipotence.
Omnipotent.
That's how I remember it. It's omnipotent.
That's how we can spell it.
Powerful.
Omniscience is omniscience, so we can spell it.
Yep, so you can spell it.
So anyhow, welcome back to the Omnis as we celebrate yet another amazing attribute of the characteristic of God. What is omnipotence?
Well, one, like I said, Omni is all and potent is powerful, but it's more than that. It's not that God is the most explosive thing on the planet. Okay?
So he's all powerful, but it's more than that.
It's absolutely more. He's not the strongest TNT in the world. Although he is. He is that powerful, but it's not like that kind of power. He has the power to do the one thing that no other creature in the world, including Lucifer, can do. Create something out of nothing.
Ooh.
That is called...
We don't know. We do not need to go there.
Sure.
No, we're going to have a whole other playlist of why are these words so long.
I'll tease it. Just leave it alone.
Fine. Ex nihilo.
Ex nihilo, which means out of nothing. It's a whole full philosophical platform on the fact.
So he got to go to school for this, and I was his initial audience.
Well, this is the cool thing about Viola. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
Why?
because he signed the
Bill made a certificate for me as an honorary
master's degree.
Philosophical master's degree.
Because she read all my papers. She helped me do everything, so she knows what I know. And so she
got to bounce a lot of this stuff off of me. Yeah. And
so her brain hurt for a while.
My yes, maybe a little. You broke my brain a little.
So
we're way off topic. So he is so powerful that he was able to create out of nothing. You and I yes. I can make a grilled cheese sandwich because I can get bread, or I can even buy the flour and make bread, or somebody knows how to grow the wheat,
right,
or whatever. But he created out of nothing.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever heard that joke. The scientists of the world, because they can now clone and create human life, they decide to write a letter to God, notifying God that they no longer need him in their.
They no longer need him because we can create.
Because we can create now. We can create, and so God sends down a message, and he says, like, "Can we meet?"
Hey, let's
so
prove
the scientists are like, "Sure, we'll prove it." Well, and God's like, "Okay, we'll have a battle of what we're going to do
of creation."
So, what are we going to create? And God says, "Okay, we're going to create a man." And immediately the scientists start thinking about how they're going to get a cloned man, because they've already probably done it. But they're thinking about cloning a man, and God says, wait a minute. You have to get your own dirt.
Yeah. You have to make your own dirt first.
And that's kind of what that is.
I think we totally messed that up, but hopefully you guys get the gist of it.
It's omnipotence is with that alone, because he created the entire universe out of nothing. Everything we see.
He holds all of it together.
He does. He holds it all together. So how do we know this? Okay, well, going back to the judge, okay, Bible, right? We need to find the characteristics of what omnipotence is. And our first verse is Isaiah.
Okay, Google tried to open. I don't know why, but Google tried to open. So Isaiah
40:28.
40:28. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become weary or tired. His understanding is inscrutable. Inscrutable meaning we are incapable of fully understanding everything he knows.
Inscrutable goes deeper than that. We can't even criticize his thinking.
Right. No scrutiny. Right. It would have the same scrutiny. Root word, probably.
Yep.
That totally makes sense.
So,
and then also we have Matthew 19:28. And while you guys think
26.
Thank you, Matthew 19:26.
We've been having with 8s and 6s today.
I've been flipping those back. While it looks really bright in here because of our dark background, the aperture is really light. It's really open wide to let light in, which is why we're all so fuzzy. It's actually pretty dark in here, so it's like almost reading by candlelight.
It is. It really is reading with candlelight. It's
Matthew 19:26, and I'm at a point of needing readers. And looking at them, Jesus said to them, "With people this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Okay, he is talking about salvation at this time.
At this time, he's talking about salvation.
Just to keep it somewhat in context.
Now, when we looked up verses for omnipotence for God, we found an actual list that said 100 verses on the omnipotence of God. So, if you want to do your own internet research on omnipotence and find reason we chose these verses is because these verses describe kind of what we're wanting to show, that even in the Old and New Testament, Jesus still is all powerful, and he's telling his disciples in the Word that you can do anything in Christ. You can I lost the word. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That he is able?
He is able.
That through him all things are possible.
Yes.
Isn't that coming up in a little bit?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Works for me. All right. So we're talking omnipotence.
Omnipotence.
So literally, we've gone through aseity, omniperfect, immutability, immensity. We have all of these winners. Omnipresent and omniscience.
And now?
Now we're on to omnipotence. They're all written on, but there's a lot of stuff there. So omnipotence.
Omnipotence. Omnipotent. God is all powerful.
Omnipotent.
And to think of this particular characteristic, of course, Lucifer wrote his name in, because Lucifer believes he tried to actually take on the omnipotent God, got kicked out of heaven. He was given this place as a temporary house to torment us, but at the end, God wins, and he's in the lake. Lucifer's in the lake of fire, and we're all in heaven.
Yeah. So, see, the funny thing is, you're right. I've read the end of the book.
I read the end of the book. Jesus wins.
Yep.
So we have Lucifer, and then that was the only other candidate other than God, because power is something that we all seek, but we know
I think that there's times that mankind would probably try to write themselves in here.
Mankind would, and this is why I'm saying mankind would, but doesn't. And that's because with mankind, there is no such thing as having too much power. So with mankind and his thinking, the evilness of his sin and the evilness of his condition, he's thinking to himself, I can get more. That's what happened at the tree of knowledge of good and evil, is Adam wanted more. That's always been the problem.
Maybe so.
So the winner of omnipotence is the mighty one, Elohim.
Elohim, the mighty one.
The mighty one.
Oh, Elohim. We have heard that name. And this is one of the great things about doing this attribute of God thing, is that we get to hear some of the names of God. And Elohim is literally the mighty one. What a perfect name for omnipotence. This all-powerful.
All-powerful.
The mighty one.
The mighty one.
That is so amazing. That is incredible. Wow.
So why is all that important? Because if you want to follow a God who if you want to follow God and you want to follow Jesus, you want to follow the teachings of his way, you're going to need to know that he's got your back. He's got your six.
So he's capable.
He's capable. Okay. And that's why omnipotence is so important, is because if you're on the wall as far as the gospel is concerned, and you're not exactly sure if you want to be a Christian, or if being a Christian sounds too silly in 20s, omnipotence is a good trait to remember, that God has your back. He's all powerful. There's nothing. When you are in his hand, there's nothing that can take you out of his hand. And that's because amazing. He loves you.
Yes.
And he came down to earth to live a perfect life in the flesh, And then he was put on a cross for his teachings. He was killed for our transgressions. He was put in a grave, and then on the third day he rose again, and he solidified the resurrection of the believers, because he is the firstborn of the resurrection.
He conquered death. So you're saying God is so powerful.
He conquered death.
He conquered death.
That's how powerful your God is.
And he loves you, and he's coming back.
He is.
For you.
So thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to us talk more about Jesus and have fun as Christians.
I know I don't feel as animated as I have been before, but this is a super important topic.
This is a super important topic, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's been kind of super serious. But yes.
And yet, once again,
God wins.
Our God wins.
Our God wins.
That's really amazing.
Go ahead and take that moment to leave a comment down below. Make sure as you're leaving that comment, as you're coming back up, you hit that thumbs up like button.
Share.
And you share on all your social media so you can sow the seed.
Subscribe if you want to get.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. You can also turn on notifications. But let us know what you're thinking. Yeah. And we pray that you have a great and glorious evening and or day or morning or whatever time you happen to be watching this.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
It's always 5 o'clock.
It's true. There's 24.
Twice a day it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
There's 24 time zones, aren't there?
I don't know. I think there is 24. I'm not exactly sure.
Pretty sure there's 24 time zones. So yes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is 5 o'clock.
All right. Fair enough. Love you guys and make great decisions. God bless.